Hi, we're going to learn about surface area today, particularly surface area of rectangular prisms and cylinders using concrete objects. Again, that would be like a box for a rectangular prism, a can for a cylinder, nets, and diagrams and formulas. Surface area formulas for the rectangular prism and cylinder. Surface area of a rectangular prism is surface area is equal to 2 times length times width plus 2 times width times height plus 2 times length times height. Now, if you want to find the surface area of a cylinder, we have to use 2 times pi times r squared plus height multiplied to 2 times pi times r. So the 2 pi r squared gives us the area of my top, bottom, and circle, and h multiplied to, in parentheses, 2 times pi times r gives you the area of the rectangle. Let's recall areas formulas for the figures that we have to worry about here. Now, the circumference of a circle is 2 pi r. The area of a circle is pi r squared. If you're finding the area of a square or of a rectangle, it's length times width. What's the formula mean for the rectangular prism? Well, the formula is surface area is equal to 2 times length times width plus 2 times length and height plus 2 times width and height. Well, you've got 6 sides on a rectangular prism. So your top and bottom is that 2 times length times width part of your formula. The left side and right side of a box would be your 2 times width times height part. Now your front and back parts would be your 2 times length times height. So if you think of the box with its 6 sides, every 2 sides equal each other. Top and bottom equal, left and right equal, front and back equal. So in our picture, we'd plug in what each one means. So our length would be 3, our width 2, our height 6. So we're saying 2 times 3 times 2 plus 2 times 3 times 6 plus 2 times 2 times 6. We're going to get 12 plus 36 plus 24. We add them all together, we're going to get 72 centimeters squared. Now we're saying squared here because we're not multiplying 3 measures. We're only multiplying 2 measures and 2 for 2 of them. So there's not a third measurement like centimeters or inches or feet or kilometers. What's the formula mean for a cylinder? Well, the formula is surface area is 2 pi RH, which is your circumference, and 2 plus 2 pi r squared, which is your area for your circles. All right, so we have 2 circles and a rectangle in the net of a cylinder. The 2 circles, which is the 2 pi r squared part, is your formula, and a rectangle, which is the 2 pi RH part. Now, h is one side of the rectangle. That's the height. The other side of your rectangle, in this case the long one there, that's 2 pi r. That's your circumference of a circle. And if remember that that's going to go around that ring like in a can. So that's why that's the circumference. So we plug in for each defined variable in the problem, solve for surface area. Since we're finding the area for each side of our answers, they're measured in squares. We're not finding 3 measurements like feet, feet, feet. We're finding 2 of the parts. All right, here's an example of finding surface area for a rectangular prism. Our problem is Alice wants to wrap a gift box of length 8 inches, height 6 inches, width 4 inches. How much wrapping paper does, well, Alice not spelled right there, does Alice need to buy? So the formula for surface area is 2 times width times length plus 2 times length times height plus 2 times width times height. We have to define the variables. We have to put the letters with a number. So the length was 8, the width was 4, and h was 6. So you plug into the formula the numbers for their variable. So the surface area is, again, 2 times width times length plus 2 times length times height plus 2 times width times height. So we plug them in. So 2 times 4 times 8 added to 2 times 8 plus 6 added to 2 times 4 times 6. When we work out the math, we're going to get 64 plus 96 plus 48. Add those together, we're going to get 208 inches squared. Here's an example of finding surface area for a cylinder. So the soup can pictured below has a diameter of 3 inches and a height of 6 inches. What's the area of the label? We're going to find the whole can here. So the formula equals surface area equals 2 times pi times r times h added to 2 times pi times r squared. We have to define the variables. Well, they told us the diameter was 3 inches, but radius is going to be equal to the diameter divided by 2. We get 1.5. For pi, we're going to use 3.14, and it said the height was 6. So we plug the formula numbers for the variable. So for 2 pi rh, we're going to get 2 times 3.14 times 1.5 times 6. When we're adding that to 2 times pi times r squared, we're going to get 2 times 3.14 times 1.5 squared. We get 56.53 added to 14.13. You get 70.66 inches squared. If you need additional resources on this, you can look in your workbook at Virginia. That's the back of the workbook, pages 37 through 40. You have 2 YouTube videos, the surface area of a rectangular prism and surface area of a cylinder.